Welcome back to another Watch Me Wholesale episode. The way this works is I randomly choose a market, then I find a distressed property for sale, then I'm gonna crunch the numbers and analyze the deal, and then call and make an offer. All of that and more coming up.
This video is brought to you by 10K Club, a program that pays you $10,000 for finding ugly houses. Learn more at my10kcheck.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton, and I went from dead broke to millionaire flipping real estate. And after doing 1,000 deals, I created this channel to help you master the art of wholesaling and flipping so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. All right, guys, I've got a picker wheel up here with 10 random markets. I'm gonna hit the spin button and let's see who the winner is today. All right, Columbia, South Carolina. Let's go find a deal. Okay, guys, so I have up on Zillow right now, Columbia, South Carolina. And when I type that into Zillow, it gives me kind of a map of the greater, Columbia market in South Carolina. Shows me all the actives. And what I need to do now is I need to find a distressed property. So the way I do that is we're gonna put some filters in. And if I go over here to the More tab, and you can see here, if I go down to the keywords, it'll allow me to put in a keyword. Now, there are certain keywords that will obviously find a distressed property. I created a huge master list of, I think, a couple hundred different keywords that you can try. One of my favorites is like fixer, investor, for sale by owner sometimes, and I really love TLC. Let's try that one. So if I put TLC, a lot of agents like to use that kind of phrase, TLC. So I found 5 agent listings and 3 kind of other listings under this TLC. So if I look here under TLC, I like to do the most recent. So I'm gonna go up here and click newest. And this one right here is house for sale on Allison Way. Let's just go with the first one here. It's only 16 hours ago this thing came up for sale. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on this and take a look at this property. So I love this like newer type of nice home, 1,900 square feet, 3 bedroom, 3 bath. The outside looks great. And let's take a look at this thing. So, it's basically looks like pretty livable, which means I'm gonna have to compete with homeowners, which is gonna be tough. There's our kitchen. Could use some countertops, kind of a little bit older cabinets. But this is basically like a carpet paint and countertops. Like, honestly, I hate this paint, which is awesome, because that means, hopefully other people hate it. But this is a really simple carpet paint rehab. And so what I want to do right now is I'm going to go, well, first let's look at the comments and see what's going on here. Highland subdivision, great room, kitchen, blah, blah, blah. Okay, house will require some updating and TLC. That's good. Short sale. Okay, there we go. Short sale. Guys, a short sale means that the seller owes more than the house is worth. So they're trying to get the bank to approve selling it for less. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but short sales are distressed properties. It means the owner is not making their payment on the house and they're upside down. So this could be an opportunity. Who knows where it's at in the process, but we'll find that out when we call the agent to make our offer. But let's comp this property now and see. Well, first what I want to do before I comp it is I'm going to go over here to my deal analyzer. This is a tool that I built that makes the analyzing process really simple. So all I do is you plug in some information, it'll run all the numbers for you and tell you exactly what you need to make your offer at. So by the way, I'll give this to you for free. Just go to mydealanalyzer.com and you can download that for free. So our property is 1961, so I'm gonna put 1961 square feet and we're gonna put on our rehab 15,000. That'll cover carpet paint and new countertops. Everything else I just leave. Now let's go comp this property. We'll come back to our deal analyzer. I'm gonna duplicate this tab. Then I'm gonna X out of the property. It's gonna show me, there's our property right there. So let's zoom in. And okay, so I just wanna stay in this neighborhood. I don't wanna go anywhere else. See this? You can get into this neighborhood on 2 different streets. This is a different neighborhood. All this is different neighborhood. I just want right here. In fact, I'm gonna remove the boundary and I'm gonna draw, and I'm gonna just draw right around this area. That's all I wanna look at. This makes it really simple to hyper-focus just on this neighborhood. I'm gonna click apply, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change this to sold I'm gonna make sure that we're just looking at homes. So I'm gonna click just homes, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna put sold in the past 6 months. I'm gonna take away our keyword there, and let's see what that does. Okay, here's our bunch of comps in here. Now let's put in another filter for square feet. So we are just under 2,000. So I'm gonna put minimum 1,500, maximum 25. I don't wanna look at anything bigger than 25 because we're 2,000 basically. All right, there we go. So we've got, looks like a handful of comps are, now I'm gonna sort this highest price high to low. So there's our highest price for 195, 2,100 feet. That's good. 195, another one. 187, this one's right at our square footage, 2,000. Here's 185 at 2,100. 2,300 for this one, 1,850 for this one. So let's see if any of these are flips. Let's look at this one real quick. Okay, here's our comp, guys. Why? It's literally our house. I mean, not exactly, because we look like this, you know, like a little bit different floor plan, but it's same square footage and everything else. So, and then you can see here, this is a flip, right? It's vacant, it's all done, but very basic. This is not real wood floors. This is a linoleum, but they did new granite countertops and carpet paint. I mean, this is exactly what I would do and spend $15,000 to make it look like this. Okay, so there's our comp right there, and that thing sold for $187. So I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna put in here whatever I gotta do to get to $187. So I'm gonna adjust my ARV price per square foot to 90, let's call it 188, 96 bucks a foot, 15 in rehab. Now I'm gonna say that a flipper on a deal like this is gonna wanna make, I don't know, 30,000, maybe 35,000. Let's bump it to that. I'm gonna keep my closing costs at 8, my carry at 5. I typically try to stay at 8 or 9% on closing. That covers commissions and all the fees to buy and sell. Carry is your cost of financing. And if a flipper wants to make 35,000 on this deal, they would need to buy it for 113,000. Okay, let's bump it up one more, make it simple. They would need to buy it, well, no, let's bump it. Yeah, somewhere around here. I'll leave it at that. So flipper's gonna wanna be somewhere here around 113 on a buy, spend 15, make 35, sell it for 188, and that would be a great deal. So if I wanna wholesale it and make 15, so let's put my wholesale fee in there. That means I need to buy this thing for 98. So around 98, 100 would be a great deal to wholesale this property. So now that I've got those numbers in mind, let's call up this agent. I'm gonna go ahead and look up right here. It says listed by Tammy Goodwin with ERA. I'm gonna Google her number, pick up the phone and call her and find out what the heck is going on with this short sale, see if we can make an offer. But again, they're asking 160. I don't know if that's what the bank will take or what. And I need to be at 100. So we're off, but let's go ahead and call, make the offer, see what happens.
This is Tammy. How can I help you?
Yeah, hi Tammy, this is Jerry Norton. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jerry?
Good, thank you. Calling you about your short sale on Allison Way.
Yes, sir.
Great. I'm an investor and caught my attention as a possible flip. So Can you tell me what's going on? Where's it at in the short sale process?
So the bank is aware that it's for sale for a short sale, but they have not given me anything about price. They said once we get an offer and present it to them, then they will consider then.
Okay, and do you have anything?
They wouldn't give me.
Have you presented anything yet?
I haven't presented anything yet.
Okay. So let's talk about that because I'm looking at the numbers on what would make sense for a flip, and I'd love to see if we could put something together and present it. I'm unrepresented, so I'd let you write the offer for me.
Okay.
Are you able to do that?
yes, I could do that.
Okay, so maybe you can help me kind of get my head around it. I mean, I'm looking at comps in the neighborhood of sold homes, and there's a couple of nice ones right in there that are like around that same square footage that are around the 185 to 190 price point that are nice.
So this one, yes, and if this one, so from what because the house has been vacant for 2 years, so the pictures that I have online are the pictures from 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna need some TLC and some painting and probably redoing the floors, some floors, just replacing the flooring.
I was thinking floors.
Everything is made.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I was thinking floors, paint, and countertops.
Yes, pretty much. Because I don't think there's anything major going on. But then, and there wasn't anything major 2 years ago. And we had it sold 2 years ago, but we ran into an issue, and then, yeah.
Do you know? So you're working directly with the seller, correct?
Yeah, I work with the sellers and the mortgage company.
Okay. Do you know? I mean, what do they owe on it? How short are they?
So it has some fees. So
yeah.
If the house was fixed up, we could be in the 197 price range to sell it.
Yeah, I know. I think it'll sell for 190 if you did carpet paint, countertops, not much, but if you just made it look, I mean, it's got terrible carpet color, terrible paint. The counters are bad, you know.
What I haven't done yet is calculated what we would need to not do a short sale.
Well, reason why I'm asking, Tammy, is have you ever done a subject to seller financing?
No, I have not.
So basically, the idea would be, as an investor, if I don't have to come up with cash and I can just take over the existing loan that's in place and then come to closing with some money to cover commissions and closing fees, it's all the same to the seller, right? Because they're not walking away with any money. They're just trying to get out of a foreclosure right now. So what if you got paid? What if closing fees got paid? And what if I could just take over their loan? I do it all the time. There's a way to do it. I'm just saying, if it could be done, does that make sense hypothetically? So like, what do they owe roughly with fees and back payments and stuff? Do you know?
I don't remember what that was. I did see the statement, but because I had intended to actually do the calculation so I could see what we would.
How short you are.
Could do to not have to do a short sale, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I could actually call the bank to see if they would even give me. If they would consider that.
They will. All you have to do is ask for a payoff. And they'll give you that same day usually, because they do that all the time when they sell. So if the seller called up and said, "Hey, I want to pay off," they'll give them the exact number of what the bank wants to sell it or to not do a short.
I have third party authorization.
So you can do it. Yeah. So if you did that, Tammy. I mean, I gotta run the numbers. Like if they owe too much, it doesn't make any sense. But if I could come in with enough to take over the loan, get commissions and closing fees paid out, maybe put $1,000 in the seller's pocket, which is more than they'd get on a short sale, right?
Right.
Maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Okay.
It's something to think about. Otherwise.
You will. Yeah.
Otherwise, if I got to come in with cash and put 20 into it and all that, I got to come up with all that money plus the rehab money. Now it puts me down at 100,000 on the buy or whatever.
Right. Okay. So, okay. Will you text me your email address? Do you have comps on it on this area already? Because I can send you some in the morning.
No comps, you said?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I've got that. I've comped just the neighborhood, and I got my head around the neighborhood.
Okay.
It's 190. You know, 190 is the number for it to be, and that's doing carpet paint and countertops. I think it could get 190.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I would be looking at. But this also might be something that you just hold and keep as a rental if I don't got to come out of pocket with the cash and I can just take it over. I work with someone who's a specialist in closing those. So, I mean, we can do the whole thing. And I just want to reassure you as the agent that it's worth your time, because I understand you need to get paid by a commission. So I would come to closing with enough cash to get all that done.
Okay, I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And it's way better than a short sale, because a short sale without approval right now, that's going to take months.
Yeah, and I tried to get like a general approval where they could give me a price to work with, and they just refused. They said they would not give me a price until they know that we're trying to sell it with a short sale, and they said once we get something, then they'll look at it.
Yeah, some banks do it that way, which is terrible, because then you waste your time presenting an offer just for them to say, oh no, we want more. Well, then why don't you just tell me that from the get-go, right? I mean, it's like, tell us your number. Tell us your number.
Tell them. Tell me a number, and I can even try to see if I can get a little more than what you're asking.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm shooting from the hip, and I don't even have an idea of what you would consider.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
Let's do that, Tammy. If you could find that out, I'll text you as soon as we hang up my email, and this is my cell phone.
Okay.
But why don't we find that out? Why don't we revisit that conversation, see if that makes sense for everybody?
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, good. Sounds like a plan.
Right.
Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, so guys, whenever dealing with a short sale, I want you to kind of think about what's going on. If you don't know what a short sale is, it means whatever the value of the property is right now, the seller owes more than that on their loan. So they're upside down, which means if they were to try to sell the property, they would have to come to closing and write a check and pay money to close. So what a lot of people will do that are proactive is, rather than just like let it go to foreclosure, typically they're missing their payments right now. Like this person's not making payments, but they're trying to get the bank to agree to sell it less than what's owed, short what's owed, and get out of the deal. Now, it saves the seller from a foreclosure on their record, but it doesn't get them any money in their pocket. And that's why whenever I'm dealing with a short sale and on market like this with an agent, I ask the agent to say, hey, what's the number that would pay off the bank, or what's the number that's owed on the loan right now? If I take that over, come to closing with whatever, let's say $10,000 to pay commissions and closing fees, now I just picked up a deal without coming out of money with very much cash. And I love those types of deals. I do those deals all the time. And I can kind of like rethink the whole formula, because the less cash I have to come out of pocket, then the easier it is to kind of do a deal. So hypothetically, let's say that they owe 160 and they're trying to sell for 160, but they're short $10,000 to cover fees. Well, I'll take over the payments. I'll come to closing with $10,000. Now I'm into it for, let's say, 160 taking over the loan plus $10,000 in fees for commissions and closing fees. So I'm all in for 170, but that doesn't really make sense, because now if I spend 20 and I sell for 190, that doesn't make sense. But what if I could sit on this thing and throw a tenant in there for paying $2,000 a month or something, and wait it out until the market does even better? I don't know. I'm just kind of making things up. Maybe the numbers don't work at all, but I always want to find out. I always want to look at it from a creative financing perspective. And guys, I've got some awesome tools on creative financing. I'll give you a complete guide on how to do creative financing deals like Subject to. I got a team in place that will do the whole thing for you that I use on all my deals. And it's really awesome. So it's a complete Subject to contract pack that I'll give you for free. I'll put the link to that in the description below. But those can sometimes be some great deals depending on how the numbers play out. So let's see what happens. She's gonna figure out what the amount is owed on that property, and we'll go from there. Let's say though that it doesn't make sense, it's too high. Then my next step is gonna be, okay, well fine. what are my original numbers back on this deal, which they are, if I look here again, it's buying this thing for 100 grand and wholesaling it to somebody for 115. They're gonna spend 15 on carpet and paint and counters, sell it for 190, they'll make 36, everybody wins. So I'll go back to that as my plan B, because she has no offer. The bank said present an offer. So she'll write an offer for me for 100 grand. I can get her to do that, even though they're asking 160. Doesn't mean the bank will take 100 grand, but at least I'm making an offer. At least we're putting it in front of the bank to see if they'll accept that price. So a couple different options are pretty exciting to do. Guys, again, if you want my deal analyzer, no problem. Go ahead and go to mydealanalyzer.com and you can download that for free and start using this tool. And also, I want to let you know that if you do this process I teach here on the Wholesale, Watch Me Wholesale show, and you find a good deal like this, I'll buy it and I'll pay you $10,000. Now, it's got to hit my numbers. It's got to be a good deal, but use the information I'm teaching you here. Use the tools. It's a finder program that I put together that allows you to go find a deal and bring it to me, and I'll pay you $10,000. Just go to my10kcheck.com and you can register for a free training that'll show you all the details about how to do that. Really awesome opportunity for you in your backyard market. Right now, I'll be your buyer. Okay, if you haven't yet, also be sure to subscribe to the channel. This is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things wholesaling and flipping, and I'll see you on the next video.